Good morning, students. Let me introduce myself. I am C.G. Lakshmi Prasad, Assistant Professor of English, working at Government Degree College, Atmakur, Vanaparthi District, Telangana State. Today, we are going to learn about phrasal verbs under vocabulary. What is a phrasal verb? A phrasal verb is a combination of a verb plus preposition or adverb. Actually prepositions, but sometimes it can be an adverb. Okay, I told you what is preposition means. Preposition should have object. If it has no object, then it is called adverb. Okay, verb plus preposition or adverb, or verb plus particle also we can call. So very often the meaning of the phrasal verb has little connection with the usual meaning of the verb taken separately. Suppose we say calm or come. Come has meaning, but when you say come out, come in, come into, the meaning of come differs when you add a particle, when you add a preposition or adverb, and it may or may not have any connection to the main verb. The prepositions or adverbs change the meaning of the verb often radically. It completely changes. The meaning is completely changed. There are many phrasal verbs in English, and there are a number of phrasal verbs. And in fact, there are dictionaries of phrasal verbs also available in the market. Here are some prepositions, adverbs which are used in phrasal verbs. Okay, these are some of one, only not just them, and these are widely used prepositions or adverbs after verb, so that to make a verb into phrasal verb. For example, about, along, around, away, back, behind, by, down, forward, in, off, on, out, over, round, through, up. Some phrasal verbs are very easy to understand. Okay, so there won't be much radical changes in the meaning as such. So very easily we can understand, like, some examples I have taken. Tom asked Mary to come in. So come in is very easy to understand. There is no drastical change in the meaning. But I will show you some more examples where you can find totally different meaning and not at all related to the two words. Okay, the man in front turned round and stared at me. See, this turned round and stared at, both are not very difficult. You should throw away those old clothes. His father went away to work abroad. His father went away to work abroad. Okay, these are very easy to understand. But many phrasal verbs are idiomatic. And but what happens is that when phrasal verbs become idiomatic, then meanings become very difficult for us to understand. Okay, the verb, you cannot just imagine the meaning unless you have to learn them. Then only you can understand the meanings. The verb plus preposition or adverb has a special meaning. Fortunately, the plan came off. See here. Fortunately, the plan came off. Came off means what? Not detached from something, but it means succeeded. That means the plan was successful. Came off. See, nothing. The meaning of came off is nothing to do with the came or off. So it is idiomatic expression, came off. And most of the phrasal verbs, many, almost all 80 to 90% of phrasal verbs are idiomatic, and the meanings become very difficult for us to understand. Why did you turn down such a good offer? See, turn down. The meaning of turn down is refuse, and it is nothing to do with turn or down. Okay, it's a very difficult. Unless you have to learn that turn down means refuse. Otherwise, it's very difficult to imagine the meaning of this turn down. Okay, whereas usually when you read a text, we can get the meaning. We can infer the meaning from the context. But these kind of phrasal verbs are very difficult for us to infer the meaning from the context. Maybe to some extent we can infer, but sometimes it becomes so confusing. What is the meaning of this one turn down? It's very, for example, came off is totally, at least turn down you can infer to some extent, but the came off is very difficult. Fortunately, the plan came off. I don't know what's the meaning. Even from the context, you cannot understand the meaning of came off. I can't make out if it's a man or a woman over there. See here, make out. Okay, make out. The meaning of make out is see clearly. Okay, even that see clearly has nothing to do with the make or out. It's very difficult. That's why phrasal verbs have to be learned through dictionary, not through context. Very few can be learned through context, but you have to learn through dictionary. Sometimes a phrasal verb has the same meaning as one word verb. See, sometimes I told you in the previous slide, I told you some phrasal verbs are easy to understand because they have same or similar meaning as a main verb. Okay. For example, find out. Okay. So find out means discover. It has a similar meaning. Find out. Leave out means vomit. Send out means distribute. Go back means return. Make up, invent a story. Invent a story. He is making up cock and bull stories. Throw away, discard. Go on, continue. Put off, postpone. Turn up, arrive. And these kind of phrasal verbs are very easy to understand, but not all the phrasal verbs are very easy to understand. The phrasal verb is usually more informal than the one word verb. And remember, it is used more informally, particularly in spoken English. These phrasal verbs are very common and very widely used. Whereas, if when it comes to written English, phrasal verbs are limited use. They are used limitedly. They are not used widely. Okay, because they are informal. Phrasal verbs are informal. Usually, it is used in a spoken English widely. Okay. Then phrasal words based on their formation can be divided into five main types. Okay. Based on their formation structure, based on their formation and based on their structure, we can divide these phrasal verbs into five main types. First one, let us see. The verb is followed by a preposition without an object. That is intransitive verb. Intransitive verb plus a preposition. So there won't be any object to the preposition or object to the verb. See here, the World War II broke out in 1939. Broke out. There is nothing. Then again, in is a preposition. Broke out is a prepositional phrase. In is preposition. And 1939 is object of in. Object of in. Object of preposition. So broke out itself has no object. So it is intransitive type of phrasal verb. Then his father went away to work abroad. This also same thing. Okay, there is no object. Then second one is the verb is followed by a preposition and then an object, transitive. This is opposite to the first one. So it also is followed by preposition, but there will be an object. So it is a kind of transitive phrasal verb. Transitive phrasal verb. Let us hear. I asked for 2 tickets. 2 tickets is object of for and also asked. I asked for 2 tickets in the front row. In the front row. James got over his illness. See, illness is object. James got over his illness quite quickly. So this is second type. Then third type, let us see. The verb is followed by an object and then a preposition. This means a prepositional phrase is split. Okay. For example, asked for. There is something. Object is in between verb and preposition. Okay. This is one kind of, but not all all phrasal verbs can be split like this. Only few phrasal verbs can be split. For example, she asked her workmate in for a drink. She asked her workmate in for a drink. This why this is this workmate, her workmate is direct object of verb. Direct object of verb, and then in is used, to make it phrasal verb. She asked her workmate in for a drink. In the same way, let us take another example. Why don't you invite that girl out to dinner tonight? Why don't you invite that girl out to dinner tonight? See, invite that girl. That girl is direct object to the verb. Whereas here, two tickets is object to the preposition. Actually, object to the prepositional phrase. For these two words, it is object. Whereas here, her workmate is a direct object to the verb. That's why the first one is intransitive, second type is transitive, third type is also transitive, but the difference is that the phrasal verb is split into two. They are no spread apart, and something comes in between. What is that something? Object of the verb. Object of the verb. So this is the third type. Then let us go to the fourth type. The verb is followed by either a preposition and then an object. So it can be, so this can be parted or put together. Okay, both ways are possible. Both are possible. Let us see here. You should throw away those old clothes. Throw away. In the same way, those old clothes can be put here. For example, you should throw those old clothes away. So it can be parted or it can be put together. It can be put together. Phrasal verb can be put together or it can be parted with by the object. By the object. So this is the fourth type of phrasal verb. Then this is also transitive only. This is also transitive type only. So next one, fifth one is again transitive. So we have one intransitive and four transitive types. The verb is followed by two prepositions and then an object. So here it has two prepositions. Verb followed by usually all in the all above four types we have only one particle, one preposition. But here you can have two prepositions after the verb and it can have a different meaning. All three words, that is three words become a phrasal verb. Let us see here. We must stop. The car has run out of petrol. The car has run out of petrol. Run out of. Run out of is a phrasal verb. It has three words. And that is one verb and two prepositions. Then Bob doesn't get on with his brother. Bob doesn't get on with his brother. See, get is verb, on and with two prepositions. So two prepositions can be joined to the verb so that three words can become a phrasal verb. So this is some kind of wide classification. There are five types of phrasal verbs based on their formation. Okay, this is only for our convenience. Okay, not that there is something hard rules as such. Then when phrasal verbs are followed by a verb, this verb is normally an ing form. Okay, suppose if a phrasal verb is followed by a verb, usually phrasal verb is followed by an object or no object. In transitive, there is no object. In transitive, there will be an object. But sometimes what happens, it can be followed by a verb. And the verb again, it has to be object. So as to make it object, what we do, we use gerund, that is ing form. Okay, ing form is used. So when phrasal verbs are followed by a verb, this verb is normally an ing form, that is gerund. Okay, so when gerund means it is no more verb, it is a noun. Okay. My grandfather has given up drinking coffee. My grandfather has given up. Given up is phrasal verb and drinking is gerund or noun. Drinking has become a noun. They kept on insisting. Kept on is a phrasal verb. Insisting is gerund. I put off going to the theater tonight. Tonight. Put off means postpone. Okay. Put off. What did he postpone? Going to the theater tonight. So going again is a gerund. So like that, these are the basic rules behind phrasal verbs. Now we'll see some more examples where we can understand phrasal verbs in detail. Children hold their parents' hands. Children hold their parents' hands. See here, this is a normal verb. This is not a phrasal verb. Just so as to differentiate between a verb and phrasal verb, I have given one normal verb and phrasal verb. Okay. So children hold their parents' hands. Hold means catch hold of. When I called, he asked me to hold on. See, hold on. What is the meaning of hold on? Wait. Okay. And this meaning of hold on has nothing to do with hold. Okay. That's why next one you see the mirror broke into pieces. Broke into means becoming pieces. Okay. By forcibly, if it is fall down, what happens? The mirror breaks down, breaks into pieces. My car broke down yesterday. The mirror broke into pieces. My car broke down. Broke down means the car did not become pieces. What happened? It stopped working and it needs repair. Broke down means it's no more working. It requires some repair. It requires some mechanic attention. You should always look before you leap. See, look means, okay, you look at something. So you have to look and then you leap, jump. Okay, before you leap, before you jump, you have to look what is there in before you. Is there a rock? Is there a plain land? Is there a mud? Is there some pit? You have to look and then leap. Okay. I look forward to meeting you. See, these are all phrasal verbs. Okay, look phrasal verbs. And every phrasal verb has a different meaning. And it may or may not have any connection with look. Okay, see here, I look forward to meeting you. What is this? Look forward to. Three words are there. Look forward to meeting you. That means he is pleased to meet you and he is waiting to meet you. That is the meaning of look forward to meet you. He is looking forward to meet you. You may look up the phone book for the contact number. What is the meaning of look up? Search. Phone book is there. If you want his number, you can look up. That means you can search the phone number in the phone book. Someone is looking after his old parents. Looking after means taking care. Okay, for example, parents look after their children. Okay, when parents grow old, children have to look after their parents. That is taking care of the parents or taking care of the children. So looking after means taking care. And it's nothing to do with look. Leave the matter with me. I will look into it immediately. What is the meaning of look into? Look into means look carefully, investigate. Okay, even investigate. Look into means investigate. I look into. I will see what is the problem. Okay, you just leave the matter with me. I will take care of it. I can't find my bag. Can you help me look for it? Look for it means search. You're not finding it, so you have to look around and you have to see where it is. That is, you have to find it out. Look for means search. When I went to school, I was always taught to look up to my elders. Look up to my elders. What is look up to? Respect. Look up to means respect your elders. So when I went to school, that means when I was in school, I was always taught to look up to my elders. That means respect your elders. Respect your elders. Look over this document before I give it to the boss. Will you? Look over means examine, see if there are any mistakes, if see if there any need for changes. Okay, you are asking your colleague or you are asking your friend, please look into it. Okay, please go through and read the document, and if anything any changes required, let me know. I'll make changes before you submit, before I submit to the boss. So you are requesting somebody, please look over this document before I give it to the boss. See, look forward to, look up, look after, looking after, look into, look for, look up to, look over. All these are phrasal verbs which now they don't have any connection with each other. They have different meanings, and they almost have no link to the verb look, the meaning of the look. Okay, they are totally different. And how these meanings have come into existence, it may have historical references. Okay, sometimes each word has historical reference, and if you want to know how this word or phrase come into existence, you have to study the etymology. Etymology means study of the history of words, study of the history of the words. That is a different topic, that different subject itself. It's a very wide subject. You can find the etymology of these phrasal verbs or phrases or words in the dictionary as well. But there is a totally different book on etymology itself. There you can find in detail how this phrase come into existence, how this word came into existence, from which language it has come, and what is the meaning, what is the root word of the verb in the resource language. Okay, what is the meaning of that word in the resource language, and all those things you can, and from when, from which century it has come into English. Okay, and all those things you can learn in etymology. That's a different subject. Then, so a phrasal verb is a phrase consisting of a verb and a preposition. So it consists of verb and a prepositions or an adverb, and it can be adverb also or both. It can have both as well, which together function as a verb. So all these two words or three words may function as a verb. Function as a verb. That's why it is called a phrasal verb. You know the meaning of phrase. Phrase means group of words. Group of words functioning as some. It can be noun. It can we say noun phrase. Adjectival phrase, adverbial phrase, a verb phrase. Okay. For example, we say is going to have come, have been coming. These are verb phrases. But phrasal verbs, it is different. Verb means verb plus preposition or adverb, and which denotes a special meaning. Okay. So phrasal verbs usually have idiomatic meaning. So I told you in the previous slide also, many phrasal verbs have idiomatic meanings. That is, their meaning is not obvious. That means it's not clear. It is not so open. Okay, from the individual words that make up the phrase. So, like I told you, a look. The look has some meaning. That is a direct meaning. And when you add something, the meaning changes. Meaning changes, and it doesn't become obvious. Okay, it doesn't become clear. Moreover, the same phrasal verb may have different meanings in different sentences, for example. So, even the same phrasal verb may have different meanings in different contexts. In one context, it may be one meaning. In another context, it may be another meaning. Let us see here, broke down. My car broke down yesterday. That means I told you this sentence already we have seen in the previous slide. Broke down means it's no more working. Okay, it requires some attention, mechanic attention. He has to come and see, has to repair it, and then only it works. That is broke down. Okay, mission breaks down. Machines break down. Okay, it can be washing machine, it can be TV, it can be car, it can be something, some machine. Sometimes it breaks down, and a mechanic has to come and repair it. She broke down when she failed in the test. See here, she broke down. Here it doesn't mean that she has become she has broken into pieces, and or she has spiled. Okay, and a mechanic or a doctor has to come. It means she broke down means it doesn't even mean she has become a patient. To become distressed, you become distressed, you become upset, lose control of emotions in a state of distress. So she broke down means she's totally out of control, emotionally out of control. That is the meaning of breakdown. Because the meaning of the phrasal verbs is unpredictable. I told you, see, because of these features, because of these characteristics, the meaning of a phrasal verb is unpredictable. You cannot predict, you cannot infer from the context also. Very few phrasal verbs can be understood from context or directly also. Very few. We have to learn what they mean by understanding them in context. So we have to see the context. We have to find it from the dictionary, and then only we can learn. Otherwise, it's a very difficult, and they are unpredictable. If they are unpredictable, it's very difficult to predict what is the meaning of phrasal verb. Then here I have collected some phrasal verbs for you, because I told you there is no hard rules. Okay, there are no hard rules, and we cannot predict the meanings of phrasal verbs. That's why I have picked some, and I have divided as in the previous slides. I have told you there were 5 types of phrasal verbs. So for each type, I have taken one slide, and I have taken some examples. And there are many examples. Remember, there are thousands and lakhs of phrasal verbs. And all those things we cannot discuss in this video. But only thing I can do is that I can introduce the phrasal verbs to you, so that you can learn phrasal verbs from your dictionary and from other resources. Break in. Break in means enter with force. Who breaks in? Usually thieves, sometimes police. Okay, if suspecting you. Okay, so break in means without permission, somebody enters your house by breaking your lock. That is break in. Someone broke in and stole my bicycle. Someone broke in. That means someone broke into my house. And what did they steal? They stole my bicycle. Die down. Die down, not die, die down. Reduce intensity. Die down means slowly it is getting down. Slowly it is getting down. For example, the music from the party died down after midnight. That means it did not completely stop, but the volume has started reducing slowly after midnight. After midnight. Fallout. Fallout means break a friendship. Okay, you are a very good friend of somebody, and sometimes you get into fight, and what happens? You fall out from him. You fall out from him. That is, Steve and Diana are always falling out. That means they are always fighting, and they depart, and again they become friends. Again depart, again they become friends, and again they fall out. Okay, that is their character. Get about. Get about means circulate or travel. Get about. Usually this is used for a news. News gets about fast these days. News gets about. See, nothing for spreading or circulate or travel. Nothing to do with the get or about. It's totally different. News gets about fast these days. Pass away. Pass away means might be you might have heard many times. Pass away means to die. Pass away. Uh, uh, Pass out. Pass away. Okay. Pass out means pass out students, we say. Those who completed their degree, graduation, and they are called pass outs, passed outs. But here, not pass out, pass away. Pass away means to die. My grandmother passed away in her sleep. My grandmother passed away in her sleep. That means she died while she was sleeping. Give in. Give in means admit. You do some mistake, and ultimately you give in. Okay, or you play with somebody, you discuss with somebody, usually debates. What happens? There is a very hot discussion, very heated discussion, and nobody is admitting, and at last after many hours of discussion, one has to give in. That means one has to agree, okay, it's all right, whatever you say is correct. That is what is called giving. He gave in eventually. He gave in eventually, maybe in debates, but in our TV debates, nobody gives in. Then they have to close down without any without somebody giving in. Get away. Get away means escape. Usually, this word is used for criminals. Usually, the criminals do some crime, and they get away from that crime. So because of lack of evidence, because of police or inefficiency of police, or because of political support, maybe so many reasons, they somehow get away from their crime. The thief managed to get away. The thief managed to get away from punishment. Get away from punishment. Get by. Get by means manage, survive. Get by. I don't know how he gets by without a job during coronavirus. During this corona pandemic, many people have lost their jobs, and many, particularly private college or private school teachers, lecturers, they lost their job. They are not getting any salary, and it has become very difficult for them to get by. That means get by means manage or survive. Okay, so they are selling their gold, and they're facing many problems. Some people are not having food, and they are selling vegetables, and they are doing odd jobs. Okay, to survive, to get by, to get by. That means to survive in life. Go off. Go off means explode. The bomb went off. The bomb went off again in Mumbai yesterday, and many bombs, even in Hyderabad. Went off means went off, or go off means explode. The bomb exploded. The bomb exploded. Go off. Next, let's go to second type, that is verb plus preposition plus objective transitive. Okay. Account for. Give a good reason for. Account for means you are accountable for doing something. That means you should be able to give reasons for your actions. How do you account for the loss in sales this month? And there was a loss in this month. And how do you account for? That means what explanation do you give? Allow for, consider. Okay, we must allow for unforeseen expenses in our estimate. So we have made an estimate, but usually estimates, what happens, usually when we execute the plan, sometimes there may be unforeseen expenses. So in our estimate, what we have to do, we have to allow for such unforeseen expenses. So allow for, okay. Then call it. Call it means pay a sure visit somewhere. Pay, not sure visit, pay a visit somewhere. Pay a visit. I think something wrong. I'm not getting that. Call it. I only have typed. Sometimes I do mistakes. Okay, typing errors are common. I must call at the bank at lunchtime today to pay those bills. I must call at the bank. That means a short, yeah, it's not sure, short visit. Pay a short visit somewhere. That means you have to pay power bill, electricity bill, and there is no time for you. So you take small permission, 10 minutes permission, 15 minutes permission from your boss, and you go immediately to the bank or electricity office and pay bill and come back to office. Okay, that is a call at. I must call at the bank at lunch time. So there is a lunch break, during office hours. So during that time, maybe you have 1 hour. You eat your lunch very fast within 20 minutes or 25 minutes. The rest of the time you can utilize for the paying the bill in the bank, paying the bill in the bank. So that is call it. A very short visit, very short visit. Call on. Pay a short visit to a person. Call on means you visit some person. It's a short. It was kind of you to call on my mother. She appreciated it. She appreciated it. That means to see her, well-being. You have gone to the mother and sat for some time, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and you gave some fruits and you came back. That is called call on. Call on. See, call it and call on. Okay. Come across. Find, meet by chance. Come across means suddenly by chance you meet somebody or you find something. I came across an original Victorian chair in his cellar. So suddenly, by mistake or by chance, you find something that is came across. Okay, get over, recover from. Get over means recover from. Many people are getting over by corona pandemic. Many people are getting coronavirus positive and they're getting over it. Okay, Harry has never got over his wife's death. He still talk about her. Getting over means not only a disease, even from mental agony. Okay, because he has lost his wife, still he is not able to forget his wife. Still he is remembering his wife. Still he is talking about her. So he is not able to get over. He is not able to recover from. The same way. Next one, go through. Go through means examine carefully. Okay. The lawyer went through all the details before accepting the case. Okay. You go through the document. We say go through the document before you sign. That means you have to read the document thoroughly and then sign. Go through means. In the same way, third type, verb plus object plus preposition. Verb plus object plus preposition. Let us see here. Again, transitive. Ask in. Ask in, invite to enter somewhere. Ask in means invite to enter somewhere. Please ask him in. Okay, ask in. Don't stand out there in the rain. Ask your friend in. Ask your friend in. That means ask your friend to come in. Ask your friend to come in. Then call back. Telephone again later. Call back means I will call you later. I am very busy. I will call back. Okay, I will call you back as soon as I get some information. Get down. Get down means depression, going into depression. This constant rain is getting me down. This constant rain is getting me down. You are not able to go out. You are not able to do your daily course, and you have to buy something, but still you are not able to go out. That's why you are becoming depressed. You are getting down. You are getting down. Invite out. Take someone on a social engagement. Okay, uh, invite out. That means you call your girlfriend or boyfriend. Let us go out. We call it now date. We call it now a date. Earlier, now date has become very famous, but in earlier days it used to be invite out. Sam has been longing to invite Carol out, but he is too shy. He wants to invite Carol out, means he wants to take Carol outside and spend some time, but he's too shy to ask her. Okay, pick up. Pick up means collect someone in your car. Pick up means collect someone in your car. As it is raining, can you pick me up? This is usual and everybody knows this one. Pick up. Put through, connect telephonically. Now we have forgotten. And earlier there used to be a trunk call. Okay. If you want to call somebody in Mumbai or Hyderabad or far distance away, first you have to call the telephone exchange and you have to ask them, please connect me or put through. So you have to give the number and they connect and once again they ring you back and then you can that is no that is called a you know put through. That is called. Then you say, please put me through to to that number. Hello, can you put me through to the sales office, please? Even now, so if you call some very big organization, and there will be so many phone numbers, and you have to contact the manager. Then telephone operator will lift the phone. Then you have to ask, please put me through to the manager. Please put me through to the manager to the sales office, please. Here to the sales office, please. The same way, put up. Put up means give accommodation. Give accommodation. Come and stay with me. I can put you up for as long as uh, you like. As long as put up means I can give you accommodation. Come and stay with me. I can put you up. That means I can bear you. I can accommodate you for as long as you like. Next one. Type 4, verb plus preposition object or verb plus object plus it can be either way. Okay, beat up, hurt or injure. So two possibilities are there. So there can be object in the middle of the phrasal verb or phrasal verb can be put together. The thugs beat up the old man in the street. Beat up means hurt or injure. The thugs beat the old man up in the street. So beat up is quite easy to understand. Bring up, raise children. Bring up means already told you, like look after. Like look after. Bring up means you have to raise them. He brought up his children well. He brought his children up well. He brought his children up well. Then bring round. That means invite. Bring round means invite. Bring round as many friends as you like to the party. Bring as many friends as you like round to the party. Okay, both are possible. Bring round means invite somebody. Call off means cancel. Okay, call off means cancel. Call off tomorrow's match. Maybe some problem. So call off tomorrow's match. Call tomorrow's match off. Call tomorrow's match off. Do up, repair or decorate a place. Do up means repair. We have just done up the kids' bedroom. That means we have decorated or repaired the kids' bedroom. We have just done the kids' bedroom up. That means repair or decorate the place. Then give up. Stop a habit. Give up means stop a habit. My friend gave up smoking or my friend gave smoking up. Both are possible. Next, last type is, okay, fifth type, verb plus two prepositions plus object. Come down with, contract and illness. Not contact, not contract, contact and illness. Both my children have come down with the flu and are home in bed. Now many people came down with the coronavirus. Okay, we can say, do away with, abolish, eliminate. The government are thinking of doing away with the students' grants. They don't want to give any grants to the students. Now that's what is happening in India. No government, either central or state governments, and even any party, they don't want to spend much money on education. Okay, everything is privatized. Drop out, drop out of. That means withdraw. One of the athletes hurt his ankle and had to drop out of the final race. So he has drop out means withdraw because of he is injured. He has to drop out of the final race. Get away with, escape punishment. I told you get away. Okay, even get away with. He planned and executed the robbery and got away with it. That means he did not get any punishment and the police were not able to catch him. Get on with, continue something already started. Get on with. I can't stop for a coffee break. I have to get on with my work. So I'm in the middle of the work. I can't get up now. I have to get on with that one. Put up with, tolerate or endure. Put up means tolerate. I can't put up with these moods anymore. I will have to have a word with him. Okay. In the same way, sometimes it's very difficult for the parents to put up with the children, because they're doing so many mischievous things, and it becomes annoying to the parents, and it becomes very difficult for them to put up with. Okay, then we have completed the examples. Now some few exercises. Okay, first one, choose a correct phrasal verb from the options given at the end of the sentence. Here two options are given, we have to choose the right one. Okay, it becomes very easy for, because already two options are given, so it's very easy, otherwise it may be very difficult. I dashed but no one has seen my mobile. I asked around, that means I asked many people but no one has seen my mobile. The fireman had to break into the kitchen to rescue the residents. Break into, break in, break into. Break in means, somebody broke in. Somebody broke in and stolen something. Break into means he has to forcibly get into, so that to rescue the residents. There is an action. My boss called off the meeting because of heavy rain. Called off, called back. Called off means cancel. Cancel the meeting because of heavy rain. Don't forget to take the room keys when you dash. Check in or check out. Okay. So here check in means when you join the, when you get into hotel. Okay, you take a room, and the time you are getting in is called check in. The time you vacate is called check out. So when we have to, don't forget to take the room keys when you check in. So when you check in, you have to take the room keys, and when you check out, you have to return the room keys. Diabetic patients are advised to cut back sweets and oily food. Cut off means total cut off. Okay. Maybe doctors suggest that you have to cut off the sweets, but oily food you cannot cut off. You have to take some oily food. So cut back is suitable here. Cut back means slowly reduce. Okay. Cut back means reduce. Cut back means reduce. So reduce sweets and oily food. Cut off means total cut off. You should never touch. You should never see even sweets and oily food, which is not possible. Okay, maybe sweets you can cut off, but oily food, because oil is there everywhere. Without oil, maybe it's very difficult to prepare food. And then we got off the bus when it reached our stop. Got off or got out? Not got out, got off. Okay, yeah, you get off the bus. You get into the bus and you get off the bus. This is your time to look after your old parents now. Okay, look after means take care of your old parents. Not look for. Look for means search. Look after means take care. She loves to hang out with her friends on weekends. Hang out or hang on. Hang out means spend some time. Okay. Hang on means you simply hang on with something. That means you wait. Okay. Hang out means you spend some time. Hang out places, we say. I ran into an old friend of mine at the theater. Ran into, ran out. Ran out means, you ran out because police are chasing you, so you ran out. Ran into means suddenly, without any expectations, by chance, by accident. You never expected to meet him, but you met your old friend after 10 years in the bus stand or bus stop or on the road. That is called ran into. Okay. She takes after her father. Takes after me, she resembles. Both love to read books. So in which way they resemble? They love reading books. Both love reading books. So we can say she takes after. Takes off. Takes off means remove. Takes after means resemble. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Here, one more exercise. Here what we have to do, complete the phrasal verbs with the correct particle. So already verb is given and the particle we have to add. Okay. I don't know where my phone is. I must look for it. I must look for, actually for has to be underlined. I have did it actually look for. Look for means search. Fill in the form with a pencil. Fill in the form with a pencil. Fill up, fill with, fill in, fill on, all are there, but here fill in the form. Fill in the form means you have to uh, uh, take the application form and fill in. Fill up means fill up when there are any gaps, like under now fill in the blanks. There you have to say fill up. Okay. A slight difference is there, fill up and fill in. Then fill with petrol or something like that. Even fill up petrol. Okay. Then fill in, fill on. Okay, some different meanings are there, but here fill in the form with a pencil. The music is too loud. Please turn the volume down. Not on, out, down, off. Off means completely off, volume off. But here down. Okay, the music is too loud. Here it is too loud, so we have to reduce. That means volume down. Turn off the lights when you leave the room. Turn off. Okay. Some people use turn out, but turn off is more preferable. Not turn down. Okay, not turn on, turn out. Turn off is more preferable. But some people, some native speakers also use turn out, but turn off is more preferable, I say. Then put on your slippers when you enter the bathroom. That means wear your slippers. Wear your slippers. Please switch off the TV. I want to watch the match. Please switch off the TV. Not switch off or switch on or switch for switch in. Switch off the TV because I want to watch the match. Okay. Sorry, I want to watch the match. So switch on actually. Please switch on the TV. I want to watch the match. I have done something wrong. Take out your shoes when you enter the computer room. So you have to remove. Take out means remove. Put on means wear. Take out means remove. The food was stale. I had to throw it away. I had to throw it away. So it is quite easy. Then the firemen put out the fire. The firemen put out the fire. Put out means vanquish the fire. Hurry up. We are getting late. This is also common one, and you know. In the last one, here we have 10 phrasal verbs. Okay, we have to fit in or fill in the blanks. Bring forth, all bring. Bring forth, bring back, bring in, bring out, bring forward, bring up, bring down, bring on, bring off, bring about. Let us see now. The administration wants to bring about a change in the work culture. Bring about a change. Okay, that means they want to make some changes in work culture. Old photos never fail to bring back old memories. So they never failed and they will bring back our old memories. Because of the hot summer, the parents want the school to bring forward the exam dates. That means prepone. There is no prepone in English. They say bring forward. No one expected the new player to bring off a sensational victory. Bring off means it's very difficult, but somehow he managed to succeed. That is bring off. The publisher hopes to bring out the book next month. Okay. Bring out means to publish. Okay. Release. The opposition party tried hard to bring down the government. That means collapse the government. The government wants to bring in a new law to deal with the cyber crimes. Bring in. That means to introduce a new law. His casual comments sometimes bring forth strong reactions. Bring forth means that they come forward. He was advised to bring up his proposal at the meeting. Bring up means you have to propose that meeting. Classical music doesn't bring on a headache. So bring on means you get some bad effect. Bring on. Uh, I think this is a last slide. Thank you very much. If you like my video, please like and subscribe and share this video with your friends who wish to learn English. And there are many videos. I'll be posting them. Please share my channel. Please subscribe to my channel and also press the bell icon. Thank you very much.